Matthew Stafford didn't just look elite against the Texans, he looked like an MVP. Not only that, but you're going to see him face the test of whether he can take hits based on the preseason concerns for his back, all while facing a gauntlet of a defense. You'll see big time throws, small but meaningful plays, great pocket movement, and a late game drive where every decision mattered. This wasn't just a good outing, this was Stafford turning to an absolute menace, answering every question about the Rams and starting his MVP run, and the film backs that up. Going into the 2025 year, one of the concerns was whether Matthew Stafford was going to be healthy enough. It was so bad, they had to use a mortal chamber to treat his aggravated disc in his back. Before the first play that we look at, it's the first real test on whether his back actually holds up. Coverage will be cover 1 pre-snap, but post-snap it goes to be cover 7, with 2 high safeties and the underneath zone defenders across the board. Stafford's going to fake the handoff to Kyren Williams, but it's a fake because it's going to be a screen to Kyren Williams, and Stafford dumps it off to him before getting smacked to the ground by Will Anderson Jr. When I first saw this play and saw him get hit that way, my immediate reaction was, crap, he's going down. That's a big hit. But he gets up and he's on to the next play. And it's like, oh, everyone's anticipating him to be wobbling off the field, but that's not what happened. Stafford doesn't do much for a large chunk of the game, and it makes sense being that the Texans defense is the real deal. It's been causing a lot of quarterbacks problems this past year and this year as well. But again, for the most part, nothing has really happened until Stafford turns into an absolute menace. The coverage will be cover 1, off coverage man-to-man. Stafford faking the handoff to Kyren Williams sees 2 possibilities on the right side. One's going to be the tight end. That's going to be immediately off the table because they have Derek Stingley Jr. covering him. And there's no way that tight end's going to beat him. Stafford, going to his trustworthy option, Puka Nacua, throws a dart to him, making it one of the many explosive plays to come. And the coverage will be cover 3. Stafford looks to his left, and while that is in theory open, it's going to be a really tight squeeze, the safety already lurking over there. So Stafford looks to his right and sees, guess who it is? Puka Nacua running straight by the defender, who switches off to cover the tight end, which for him it kind of makes sense, but the corner on the far outside is not even ready for it. And Stafford fits it in, giving Puka enough time to brace for the incoming missile. What I think is really impressive about this as well, because Stafford sets his feet, but it's not like he's even putting everything he's got into it. It's simple, set his feet, flip the hips, and firing this ball almost 30 yards, which is pretty impressive given his age and is supposed to have a major back issue. We know it's bothering him, that's obvious. These throws are only going to get spicier. As you look at some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, some of that production has to do with the amount of play action they are running. However, Stafford, even when he's not in play action, which is more favorable and easier for quarterbacks, is playing at an elite level. It's more impressive and could argue more critical when it comes to facing better defenses. Coverage is going to be cover 3. The Texans are running multiple defensive backs, only making the coverage a bit more difficult to dissect. Stafford takes a snap, which is really high, almost going over his head again. He looks to his left and sees not much there. Looks to his right to actually shift 39 over, because if you look at this viewpoint there ain't nobody there. Puka's well covered. So Stafford looks back to the left to Davante Adams running this deep dig route and fires a low, but on purpose low ball to Adams, who makes an incredible catch. But it's these big brain micro decisions Stafford does that gives him that edge in the NFL. If you thought these plays weren't that spicy, well, now it's about to get spicy and frisky. Coverage is going to be a 2 high safety shell with zone coverage underneath. I want to say it's cover 7. Some will call quarters 2. Stafford's going to fake the handoff to Kyren Williams once again. He notices the tight end, but he wants a bigger bite. So impressively, he moves up into the pocket, doing a good job of keeping his feet ready to be set to fire this ball, and he does so just before the edge rusher rounds back, giving him a little love tap. And Stafford launches this ball deep, making an incredible pinpoint ball to Xavier Smith, who I never even heard of. Very impressive, extremely explosive play. Now we're looking at cover 3 in the red zone. Stafford's going to fake the handoff to Kyren Williams once again. Roll to his left. He's going to make a great throw. Rolling to his left. Not very easy to do for right-handed quarterbacks. Doesn't have a lot of leg room to do this as well. His 84, the tight end, is going to peel off and is going to leave the edge rusher alone. Stafford, a pocket quarterback versus the edge rusher is never good. But Stafford reacts quickly, sets his feet, throws us off his back foot, moving left, and throws a perfect ball. A tight window throw to his other tight end, 87, for the touchdown. Now he's on fire. This is going to be a random play, but it's play action, and if you watch Kyren Williams, he just sumo tackles the guy, and he still manages to somehow sack Stafford. Obviously, this is a penalty. You can't just flip the guy over your shoulders, but it's still funny because Kyren is like a small boy. The next play is going to be part of the drive starting at the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, and the Rams are leading 14-9, which is exactly why I made this video, because many times people look back at low-scoring games and think the offense has has sucked, and that's simply not the case. A lot of drives can end because of various reasons, and oftentimes you can look at the stat sheet and think a quarterback sucked because there's just not a lot of production. But that's why you watch the film. People will talk all the time about the film this, the film that. Seriously though, you watch the film, you'll see the truth and the context and the whole picture behind everything, even the data. This play in particular is going to show a nice adjustment from Stafford at the line, as this is probably going to be a run play. It's 2nd and 6, and instead of handing it off or faking the handoff to Kyren Williams, he does a sped up drop back and throws to an open Puka Nacua, which it seemed like Stafford knew exactly how he was going to play this out, with the tight end drawing out the inside defender 39 to open that space up for Puka. This is not explosive, but it's a nice play. It's good to point out the simple ones because the small stuff does add up. Back to some spicy. With Puka set in motion to the other side on the lopsided alignment of the ball, Texans are going to switch it up with their safeties and ultimately run a cover 1 variation. Stafford's looking into the safety sole, then to Puka. He doesn't see that open right away, and then attacks it outside where Davante Adams is at. Now, if you pause and look here, you'll think this is a terrible idea. While Adams does have a slight step over the corner, the safety is hauling to get over there. But this is what true elite quarterbacks are going to do. Stafford's going to throw his back shoulder to Adams, a perfect clean spot to where no one's going to get it. He was able to get his feet in bounds, extending the drive. His last 2 plays are critical because now we're in the 4th quarter, the score is the same, and it would be nice if the Rams can get something on the board because there's still enough time for the Texans to come back. So if they get another score, it makes that less likely to happen if the Rams can do something. And Stafford's going to do his best to make that happen. Cover is presenting to be a cover 4 pre-snap, moving to a cover 3 variation post-snap. Stafford under center is going to fake the handoff to Kyren Williams, but it's going to mean nothing as Williams already goes up the block blitzer. Stafford gets the back of his deep drop back, sees the opening appearing before the tight end even turns the corner on this. Stafford's firing the ball because that's how quickly this throw needs to happen. The tight end sees it kind of late, but sees it in time to try and catch it, but it's a low throw with him catching it but then dropping the pass. Deep side was let up by Sean McVay because that was it. Don't worry, because Matthew Stafford isn't done yet. Coverage is going to be cover 3. Stafford takes a snap. Before he gets the back of his drop back, the right guard already loses in pass pro. And Mr. Stafford has a big boy streaming down on him, ready to eat him. Stafford sees this while already looking to the middle to see what the safety is up to. He makes a slight adjustment and off his back foot throws to Puka, who is running wide open on a simple post route. Stafford takes a hit but delivers his ball to Puka, sending the Rams up shop with roughly a 25-yard throw. This is critical because they are in the red zone now, and they're basically about to score a couple plays later after running the ball and getting the clock down. In a game where there's a lot of speculation that Stafford might not be healthy and that any hit is going to take him out of the game, which is still relatively true to now, but he didn't just look good, he looked elite. Still taking hits, looking perfectly fine, and not only that, Matthew Stafford looked like what he looked like in 2023, which in my opinion should have gotten the MVP that year. 2023 is playing out of his mind with a terrible offensive line, and 2024 was a down year for him. The odd thing is people are actually going to give him more credit in 2024 than in 2023. That being said, this first game, Stafford looked like he was back to elite quarterback that he is and starting strong for his MVP run in the 2025 season. But what about another MVP frontrunner in Drake May? Currently the two are head to head in the battle for MVP, but does Drake May deserve MVP over Staff? Check out one of his best games, decide for yourself.